Okay, Ashley, I'm going to ask you to take item 79.
Item 79, adopting the following ad valorem tax millage rates within the boundaries of the following taxing jurisdictions on all taxable property to be levied during the year 2024 in order to adjust downward the 2024 millage rates as compared to the 2023 millage rates as required by Article 7, Section 23B of the Constitution of the State of Louisiana. East Baton Rouge Parish operating tax, 3.15 mils to 2.96 mils. City of Baton Rouge operating tax, 5.75 mils to 5.44 mils. City of Baton Rouge 3 platoon police tax from 0.87 mils to 0.82 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish Mosquito Abatement and Rodent Control District additional 0.37 mils to 0.35 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish Library from 10.52 mils to 9.89 mils. Downtown Development District 10 mils to 9.50 mils. Council on Aging 2.13 mils to 2.0 mils. Mental Health and Substance Abuse 1.42 mils to 1.33 mils. Emergency Medical Services 3.13 mils to 2.94 mils. Consolidated Road Lighting District Number 1, 1.85 mils to 1.71 mils. Baton Rouge Municipal Fire Salaries and Benefits 6.0 mils to 5.68 mils. Fire Protection District Number 1, 9 mils to 8.52 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 from 10 mils to 8.83 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 additional 5 mils to 4.41 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 additional from 10 mils to 8.83 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 from 10 mils to 9.09 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 additional from 10 mils to 9.09 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 additional from 10 mils to 9.09 mils. Pride Fire Protection District Number 8 from 10 mils to 8.97 mils. Pride Fire Protection District Number 8 additional 15 mils to 13.45 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9 from 10 mils to 9.82 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9 additional from 5 mils to 4.91 mils. By the Finance Director. This item requires a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on item 79? And council members, for the this is not the roll forward item. The next item is roll forward. Seeing none, go to council members.
We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Moak, second by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposed? All right, item 80. Moak, Coleman. Coleman was second. Moak made the motion, sorry. Ashley, if you take item 80 for us.
This is going to be a public hearing on this item. There will be no vote after this public hearing. We are going to read the item a second time. That we will then have a public meeting and a motion can be made and a vote on the second time. But we're going to allow public comment twice on this item. Adopting the following increased ad valorem tax millage rates within the boundaries of the following taxing jurisdictions on all taxable property and adopting all other ad valorem tax millage rates within the boundaries of the following taxing jurisdictions on all taxable property, except that the millage rate for the Downtown Development District shall be levied on real property only, to be levied during the year 2024 as permitted by Article 7, Section 23C of the Constitution of the State of Louisiana, and adopting all other millage rates for 2024. Adoption of increased ad valorem tax millage rates for 2024 roll forward. Emergency medical services from 2.94 mils to 3.13 mils. Council on Aging from 2 mils to 2.13 mils. Baton Rouge Municipal Fire Salaries and Benefits 5.68 mils to 6 mils. City of Baton Rouge 3 platoon police tax from 0.82 mils to 0.87 mils. Fire Protection District Number 1 from 8.52 mils to 9 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 from 8.83 mils to 10 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 additional from 4.41 mils to 5 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 additional from 8.83 mils to 10 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 from 9.09 mils to 10 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 additional from 9.09 mils to 10 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 additional 9.09 mils to 10 mils. Pride Fire Protection District Number 8 from 8.97 mils to 10 mils. Pride Fire Protection District Number 8, additional from 13.45 mils to 15 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9 from 9.82 mils to 10 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9, additional from 4.91 mils to 5 mils. Adoption of all other ad valorem tax millage rates for 2024. East Baton Rouge Parish operating tax, 2.96 mils. City of Baton Rouge operating tax, 5.44 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish mosquito abatement and rodent control district, 1.06 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish mosquito abatement and rodent control district additional, 0.35 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish Library, 9.89 mils. Downtown Development District, 9.5 mils. Mental Health and Substance Abuse, 1.33 mils. Consolidated Road Lighting District Number 1, 1.71 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3, additional 10 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7, additional 10 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9, additional 10 mils by the Finance Director and the various taxing districts. This item is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this item?
Please say your name for the record.
Jake Morgan, citizen of Baton Rouge and president of the Baton Rouge Professional Firefighters Association. Our millage for the municipal fire salaries and benefits was originally passed by the citizens of Baton Rouge in 2000. This millage has been in place, 6 mills, it's always rolled forward since the year 2000, 24 years in. This money is responsible for 24% of our salaries and benefits. It's dedicated for just that. It's not used for anything else, not for fire stations, not for fire trucks, anything like that. It's no secret that we're in search of higher pay here in the city of Baton Rouge for our firefighters. This could be a good opportunity for us to increase our special fund for our firefighters. I'm here just to ask for you guys to consider passing this roll forward for us.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Please state your name for the record.
Jason Turner, president for the St. George Firefighters, not a resident of Baton Rouge, but I do represent the members of St. George for our local. I do want to say we do support the roll forward for the Baton Rouge firemen and the fire departments all in general. I don't think I have to tell you what they do and what they go through, but we had no opposition to our roll forward last month. I'm asking the same thing here. Please pass theirs. We support it. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Please state your name for the record.
Penny Mae Landry. While I appreciate the slight decreases in the previous, let's see what it was, item 79, I'm against any millage increases, particularly right now when the citizens of East Baton Rouge are seeing increases from insurance, inflation, other millages increases like BREC and CATS and the school board. I totally support our firefighters, have the most respect for them. So I agree with the increase in the fire salaries and benefits. I'd like these fire protection districts to look at budgeting for 2025, just like all of us are having to do in order to survive. So I agree with the salaries. The other thing is that the East Baton Rouge Parish operating tax and the City of Baton Rouge operating tax totals 8.4. Okay, that is just one of the expenses paid for by the taxpayers and the citizens of East Baton Rouge. And while it is a slight decrease, it's a washout for us because of the other increases, okay? So we don't get ahead, even though this went down a little bit. Everything went up. All these other millages went up way beyond these tiny little decreases. So I'm just imploring y'all to look into your hearts and know that many of your constituents are struggling. And I also asked the the fire protection districts to, say, yay, we got a raise, and not increase the millages on the people, and look better at doing a better job at budgeting. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this item?
We're going to close the public hearing on this item. Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to this item. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public meeting on item 79. On item 80, apologies. This is a public meeting on item 80. Adopting the following increased ad valorem tax millage rates within the boundaries of the following taxing jurisdictions on all taxable property, and adopting all other ad valorem tax millage rates within the boundaries of the following taxing jurisdictions on all taxable properties, except the millage rate for the downtown development district shall be levied on real property only, to be levied during the year 2024 as permitted by Article 7, Section 23C of the Constitution of the State of Louisiana, and adopting all other millage rates for 2024. Adoption of increased ad valorem tax millage rates for 2024 roll forward. Emergency medical services from 2.94 mils to 3.13 mils. Council on Aging, 2.0 mils to 2.13 mils. Baton Rouge municipal fire salaries and benefits from 5.68 mils to 6.0 mils. City of Baton Rouge, 3 platoon police tax from 0.82 mils to 0.87 mils. Fire Protection District Number 1 from 8.52 mils to 9 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 from 8.83 mils to 10 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 additional from 4.41 mils to 5 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 additional 8.83 mils to 10 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 9.09 mils to 10 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 additional 9.09 mils to 10 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 additional 9.09 mils to 10 mils. Pride Fire Protection District Number 8 8.97 mils to 10 mils. Pride Fire Protection District Number 8 additional 13.45 mils to 15 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9 9.82 mils to 10 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9 additional 4.91 mils to 5 mils. Adoption of all other ad valorem tax millage rates for 2024. East Baton Rouge Parish operating tax 2.96 mils. City of Baton Rouge operating tax 5.44 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish Mosquito Abatement and Rodent Control District 1.06 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish Mosquito Abatement and Rodent Control District additional 0.35 mils. East Baton Rouge Parish Library 9.89 mils. Downtown Development District 9.50 mils. Mental Health and Substance Abuse 1.33 mils. Consolidated Road Lighting District Number 1 1.71 mils. Brownsfield Fire Protection District Number 3 additional 10.0 mils. Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 additional 10.0 mils. Allison Fire Protection District Number 9 additional 10 mils by the Finance Director in various taxing districts. This is a public meeting on this item. If there's anyone in the public who'd like to speak.
Seeing none, we'll go to council. Councilman Moak.
Thank you. Ashley, I'd like your help on this. With items 1 through 15, those would be increases versus items 16 through 26. Since those are basically new, voted on by the people, those are where they're at, not going up or down.
The items 1 through 16 represent a request for a roll forward, which means they are asking to levy the same millage or their maximum millage that they were allowed to levy in 2023. So they would collect more money after reassessment.
Okay.
Items 16 through 26 are the rolled back millage.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to accept the roll forward on items 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is where I need your guidance on this. 16 through 26, do those get automatically included in, or do I?
You can approve those. You can have those in your motion to approve.
And those are not a roll forward?
They're not a roll forward.
Those are just starting because of a vote by the people?
They're existing taxes. They're just confirming that they're going to be levied at the rolled back.
At the rollback
Millage.
fee. Okay, that's my motion.
Okay, so we have a motion from Councilman Moak to approve the roll forward, a motion to approve the item with the roll forward for items 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 through 26.
We have a second by Councilwoman Rocco.
I'd like to make an objection and make a substitute motion. And I'm gonna need your guidance as well, Ashley. So I'm gonna need your help with the language, whether it is roll forward, roll backwards. The intent of my motion is to approve all the items that are listed at the current amount being collected. So what is the proper motion or terminology to use to make that motion, and can I make it?
So, in item 79, that is what you approved. In item 79, y'all approved all of these taxing jurisdictions collecting the same amount of money that they collected this year. That's the rollback, takes into account increased property values and sets the millage at what the estimated collection being the same that it was for 2023.
Okay, so we done that already,
That's been
and no
done.
other additional action would need to be taken.
Correct. So on item 80, these taxing jurisdictions are requesting to basically keep their millage at the maximum level it was approved at in 2023, and that thus collecting more money based on increased property value.
I want to make sure I'm understanding you properly. So this item allows them an increase, all of them.
Item, the taxing districts listed in items 1 through 15 in this item would receive increased collections based on,
So
Rolling forward
16
the
through
millages.
26 wasn't in the previous item?
it might be helpful to get the finance department.
Okay. Finance, can you help me out? I just want to make sure, because if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds like we approved all of them at the current rate, and there's no need for number 80 unless we want to increase on somebody. Am I correct? Can you help me out?
That's correct. We're just following procedure for it. So, Ashley,
If you do not approve item 80, all of the millages that you levied in
Okay.
item 79 will stand, which was a rollback.
and this is looking at all of them again and picking the ones that you want to roll forward.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm gonna make based on that understanding, I'm glad all of them have what they had last year. My substitute motion is gonna be rolled forward, all of them.
Okay, so your motion would be to approve item 80.
Yes, as written.
Okay. Approved by motion.
Okay. It didn't go.
Let me make sure you got it. I want the increase for everybody who requested it. That's my motion. All right. We good? 1 through 15. The others didn't request it. You want to read it just so everybody is clear, Ashley, please?
It's just a motion to approve item 80.
Yeah, I know, but I want to make sure that everybody understand what action takes place once we
Okay.
approve it.
If item 80 is approved, the taxing jurisdictions listed in 1 through 15 will levy their ad valorem tax at the higher millage rate, at the maximum that they were allowed last year, instead of the rolled back rate. That indicates that they will receive more money through property tax collections in 2024 than more money than they collected in 2023.
All right, I'm good.
Councilwoman Banks.
So in 79, we were mostly reducing the tax.
You're reducing the millage rate
Yes.
you will collect the same amount of money.
In 79?
Yes, each jurisdiction will collect, we're estimating that they will collect the same amount of money, but rolling the millage rate back.
So when it says 3.15 for the 2023 levy, but then it says adopt in 2024, 2.96.
Right.
So how
So,
could it be the
okay,
same?
because this is a reassessment year, you probably got a notice in the mail from the assessor's office that explained whether your property tax, your property value went up or down. Generally, in East Baton Rouge Parish, property values went up. So if y'all kept all of these millage rates at the same amount of money, property taxpayers would be paying more money in property taxes, keeping that millage the same because your property value has
Because
increased.
the value went up.
So,
Got you.
taking all of that into account, these taxing jurisdictions are requesting to roll it back so that they collect the same amount of money that they collected in 2023.
Okay. But then in 80, it sounds like an increase.
In 80, they will collect more money in 2024 than they did in 2023.
Increase.
It-
So how do we get it where they just collect the same?
You did that in item 79.
Oh, so why are we?
They're allowed to, in a reassessment year, taxing jurisdictions are allowed to request to roll their millage forward.
May we approach the bar? No. Can I ask him something? I need to have a discussion. So, Councilman Dunn, so you're thinking give them all a raise, essentially. Is that correct?
Well, I wanted to clear things up. As Ashley mentioned, and my understanding is, by law, we was required to do 79, which rolls it back.
Right.
If we do 80, it basically returns it back to the original state. So it is not an increase. Am I correct, Ashley?
I'm sorry.
It's not an increase of the millage.
Correct.
It's an increase, but it's not an increase of the millage.
The collections are an increase,
yeah,
not the millage rate.
The millage there's not an increase of the millage. The only way it's an increase because the property value
Exactly.
went up.
Correct.
So we're
Okay.
not increasing
All right.
the millage.
Got you. So now what are we doing? All right. Thank you.
You good, Sean? Okay. Councilman Goday.
Thank you. Sorry, I thought we were having technicalities there. Well, I want because there's a discussion about whether to roll forward or not, I would like the entities named in 1 through 15 to come up and provide information as to why a roll forward is requested. So EMS. All right, let's do Council on Aging.
Here's why it's important for us to roll forward. First and foremost, you rolled this back right during the pandemic. We were approved for 2.25 meals. You rolled us back to 2.13 where we currently are. If you roll us again to 2.0, when it's time, we have a couple of years left in our millage. When it's time to rerun, we're going to rerun at a lower amount. That's first. Secondly, we have become the second largest council on aging in the state. Last year alone, the state of Louisiana all councils on aging, we did about 6 million meals. Of the 6 million meals in 1 year, this council on aging did 22% of all the meals, which is about 1.3 million. This year alone, we're already at 1.4 million meals. Our issue is we just came to you all some months ago and you gave us $560,000 in ARP funds. Our issue is we have more demand now than ever before, and we do not want to tell your constituents, no, we can't serve you. Part of our problem is we grew from 8 senior centers and feeding sites to currently 20 and 2 more on the way. We do 69,000 meals a month for homebound seniors, which is about $5 million of the $10 million that you try to keep us at. So all of the money is going into services. And so when I tell a senior in your area, no, we can't serve you because I have too many, then they call you and you call me and I said, well, we're going to make it happen. And so we came and we got 560. The 750 that'll be extra would really be the whole that we need to be able to keep these seniors on the program. Because if not, I got to go back and turn about 1,500 away or so.
Ms. Amar, forgive me, I
Sure.
realize I'm on a clock here. Thank
Sure.
you for that. Did your board vote to roll forward the millage?
Yes,
Thank you very much. How about Brownsville Fire Protection District 3?
that's it. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, yes, I'm going to try to get to all the entities. Thank you very much, Ms. Amar. Brownsville. Hey, Chief.
Thank you. Carol Campbell, the fire chief at Brownsville. One of the big reasons that we want to try to roll this forward is manpower. Rating is coming up. It takes manpower for rating. Not only that, equipment, fuel is up. PPEs, the personal protection equipment that we use, turnouts and stuff, out of the ceiling. Buy a fire truck today. See what that costs, You're looking at something close to $1 million. And so many of these things, but we do need it for supplies, medical supplies, and this type of stuff. Salaries is a big factor. Our contract people, we have a lot of contract people, and we have to maintain that. So, any questions? I'll be glad to.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Cheneyville. And Pride and Allison can come forward. Fire Protection District number 1. I don't know if I skipped them. We heard from Jake from the Municipal Fire 3 platoon tax, I guess, would be represented by our Finance Department. You must justify the roll forward.
For the roll forward, that will help fund, or goes towards police salaries.
Police salaries, thank you. Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Councilman Hurst?
Hey, Tasha, can you come to the mic? So, and I don't know the full details. I just remember the discussion about the 500,000, how it was originally budgeted, but then it was pulled back. And so we supplemented to make sure that our senior population didn't suffer. Right. Can you explain that, please?
So when we were last here, the mayor afforded us an opportunity to get $560,000 of ARP dollars to solely serve seniors in all over the parish for Meals on Wheels, because we've had a steady influx of seniors. Because what we are learning, not just here but everywhere, seniors are living longer, but they're not aging well. They're not as healthy as they should be when they start to decline. And so we have quite a few seniors that get Meals on Wheels delivered to their home. They're homebound seniors that are ill or suffering with some health complications. And so afforded us the opportunity to have this money through December.
So, and one thing I always say is tangible results are very important. And nobody can deny that you guys have put up a lot of brick and mortar that directly serves our senior population. So anybody up here that says they don't know where your money's going, then you come take a tour of your facility or facilities.
Sure.
Right, and the impact that it's making.
Right.
But my question is, with the growth and the deficit that you ran this year, what would that look like moving forward if we weren't able to put these millage in place?
It's going to be difficult. I'm going to put some seniors on homebound programs on waiting lists, and I'm going to have to reduce some of my seniors at senior centers. As you know, you have Central, and Antioch are my largest senior centers in the parish, with nearly 150, 250 people daily, eating, doing exercise, all kind of things. So I'm going to have to turn some people away.
And so I say that only because people who are, we always talk about, we wish every councilman had a community center, and at some point I hope we get there.
Yeah.
But Brandon can tell you from Cheneyville, and this is not a Republican, a Democrat, a white or black, or rich or poor. This is if you either had the experience or didn't. And I found it out the day I was asking for supplemental monies to provide access to the homeless people on Plank Road, or people with food insecurities, and how we were building a program, and just that Brandon had some similar issues with older buildings, lack of resources, and how he made those improvements.
Right.
So I can talk to Ms. Darazan, who is newer, but she comes to the Charles R. Kelly Center with Ms. Joyce, who works for Cleve Dunn, Tawana, who's over at the MLK Center on a regular basis and serving that district, Councilwoman Coleman, who's at the Leo Butler Center, serving her district,
right.
Councilwoman Banks, who's at Jewel Newman. I only say this because if you don't have that lived experience, you don't realize the impact that they're making. They're taking people out of depression.
Right.
They are reducing mental issues, physical ailments that come from being stuck in your house all day. And we had this conversation the other day. I'm going to bring up a conversation we had the other day. So I called Tasha, and I said, Tasha, we got all this waste left over from this food. She was like, well, they could take it home with them.
Right.
And one of the reasons we had that discussion is because there was some confusion just with the center director of if the food could leave the building, but it was only for people who were under the age of 60 that did not qualify, that the food couldn't leave the building. And you have some seniors, I'm trying to say it politically correct, that come and tell and say they got 2 plates, or they got 3 plates, or they got 4 plates. And my response to that was, you don't know what's in their cupboards at home.
That's right.
You don't know what's in their refrigerator. You don't know what's in their bank account. So if they wanted 3 plates, I'm okay with them, because somebody's going to eat that food.
Most definitely.
They want an extra drink, somebody's going to eat that food. So not only are they providing the mental health, physical resources, the day-to-day activities that's keeping these people alive and well, they're also closing the gap on insecurities when they leave there. So I'm only saying this because I saw that you were excluded in the original motion.
Yeah.
And for that reason, my motion will be to approve all or approve none.
And Councilman Hurst, just for the
You
record,
can have my next 5 minutes.
we have been nationally recognized all over the country for our work that we have done. The New York Times, NPR, all over the country, except for home. And so we're working on that, so that you all will come into the facilities and see what we do. See for yourself how we're breaking social isolation and teaching seniors how not to fall, which is the number one killer of seniors across the country, is falls. And so we have a class called Matter of Balance and some other things. And so, thank you.
So look, I'm gonna make a suggestion for you.
Yes, sir.
We've been trying to get.
I invited them a lot of times.
No, listen. We've been trying to get them a cats bus for a long time, right?
Right.
And we haven't done cats. Why don't we make it an all-in-one trip where we get on the bus and visit the community center through partnership with cats?
I could pick you up on.
That'll be a dual 2-in-1, so we don't have to set up multiple trips.
I could pick you guys up on our buses. We have 20
let's
of
stick
them.
with cats.
All right. All right.
But I would recommend that y'all put that together, and
okay.
I would love to attend as well.
Sure.
Councilwoman Amorosa.
Just asking a basic question now that there's a lot of, I'm still a little confused. I just want to know, what kind of impact are these rolling forwards going to be on our constituents' pockets? If anybody can, is it going to be a huge impact? Is it just going to be a matter of cents? Because we do have people out there that are struggling. So I know that's a very basic question, a very elementary question. But rolling forward, how are our constituents' pocketbooks going to be impacted?
The big answer to that is that it depends on where they live, exactly, and which millages are rolled forward where they live. Are they in Baker, Zachary, Baton Rouge, St. George, unincorporated areas, what have you? But in general, if, let's see, for the fire tax, for example, on a $200,000 home, it would be $6.40 increase. I'm sorry, yeah, $6.40 increase on a $200,000 home per year. So $6 a year.
And that's just one being rolled forward.
And that's one annually. EMS on $200,000 would be $2.38. So it depends on where they live, the value of their home. There's a lot of factors to that, so it's a very loaded question.
Right, I understand that. I do understand that, but I mean, there are people that are concerned, and you know, our homes are maybe a small home, but it's still very expensive these days. You know, that people are trying to do everything they can do to keep body and soul together. So anyway, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman Dunn Jr.
Could you come back up, please? I know you only mentioned two, one being $6, one being $2. Are there any on your list that's higher than a $6 increase? Or is the average between $2 and $6?
It depends. Because the amount of each one being rolled forward is a bit different, but let's see. And again, that was on $200,000.
I got you.
Obviously, it would be different for 300 or
Right.
400 or et cetera.
We need a baseline just to have an idea, though.
So for 200,000, Fire District 1 would be at $6. And that's a 0.48 mil increase. Brownsfield is a combination. They have three that are being rolled forward. And in total, that's $36.63 for the three of them combined.
Okay.
And Pride and District 7 are similar in that range because they have multiple millages.
So it could be equivalent, $36, $40, something like that.
Yeah, they're $36.63 for Brownsfield, $32.25 for Pride, and $34.13 for Cheneyville.
Gotcha.
So they're all in the $30 range. But again, there's multiple millages.
Yeah. So would it be safe to say the roll forward was on 15, somewhere in $200 to $300 a year, depending on where you live? Something like that?
Depends on where they live.
And
if there's a roll forward, so if we're not rolling forward the tax, for example, for the parish or the city, then those citizens wouldn't have to pay those. But maybe if, and I don't know if Baker or Zachary are, but if Baker or Zachary roll forward, then those citizens would have that. Whereas the citizens in Baton Rouge or the unincorporated areas would not.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Councilwoman Amorosa, for the question, because it kind of gives us somewhat of an idea, even though it's not an exact science of what the impact is on the citizen. Thank you for that question. I thought Councilman Gaudet asked a good question, too, the request of the individuals asking to roll forward to kind of justify it. Very interesting to me that we only have one or two present that are willing to be here and participate in this process and have the information before us today to let us know what their justification is. One being the Council on Aging. And thought Councilman Hurst made a lot of good points. Most of us know the impact that the Council on Aging are making. He made the point about the community centers. I'm one of the districts that don't have a community center yet. We're working on that. However, and Tasha will tell you this, all of us have senior centers in our districts. So even though we don't have community centers, we know the impact. And Councilman Hudson's district is the most recent district to receive a senior center, and realize the impacts that the Council on Aging is making. So we see the brick and mortar, as Councilman Hurst mentioned. We see and feel and hear the impact from the residents and the service that the Council on Aging is bringing. We know they're doing the work. We know that this work and these resources are getting to the people. So let's cut the games out and roll these millages forward. I'm going to go back to the opening prayer by the pastor. I forget his name. I jotted this down when he said that because I kind of thought this would resonate and have some substance and meaning to this meeting. He said two things that stuck out to me. He asked us to guide our words and guide our motives. So I'm going to ask my colleagues to guide your words, which I think we've done a good job of that. But now I'm going to ask you to guide your motives. because the Council on Aging deserves to be rolled forward. Thank you.
Councilman Hirsch, you already spoke twice.
Jen, can I have a little bit of your time?
So we're going to go to me.
Did I really speak twice already?
You did. In fact, I didn't even have to warn you. You accepted it before it got to it. Your second 5 minutes.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
You did. Okay. So I actually agree with a lot of what was said on the justifications behind these. I really do. Cheneyville Community Center, y'all are there feeding people every day, and I appreciate it. And our first responders, the good work y'all do is absolutely noticed and recognized. And I've had discussions with you all plenty of times. I think I'll just give some perspective on how I view this. You know, you're talking about taxes that were passed on an amount to that was needed when it was passed. These are the dollars that are going to be received. And so item 79 was there because that corrects for the reassessment to receive those same dollars that were passed when the tax was passed by the people. And so when you're looking at the roll forward, it's going back to the millages that were approved at that time with the higher amounts. You hear lately on a national news level people talking about taxing unrealized gains, which, side note, I think would put us directly into a depression. That's a terrible idea. But this is in a small way a very similar thing. You're talking about you have realized through your assessment an increase in your property value, and you're going to be taxed more on it because of that increase. What that rollback does is it gives you some relief from that. So your quote unquote balance sheet, you know, your personal financial statement looks greater because you have a more valuable asset in your home or on your property. But that doesn't put more dollars in your pocket. That doesn't give you liquidity. And when you talk about being taxed more on that, you know, unless you got a raise, you don't have a roll forward in your salary. And so that's kind of how I view this. Again, I see the justifications, but I do see this as a tax increase. And I think it's in its most simplified form, that is what this is. It is asking for more from something that when the people didn't necessarily get an increase in their bank accounts for it. We know the woes that are being seen with insurance in our state are plentiful. That's affecting everyone. No one's immune to it. I think we are starting to see it, and it's only going to get a little bit worse, I think. With insurance, you're seeing people, if they're not already on the brink of being forced out of their homes in some situations because of insurance. And so I would caution on us using or exacerbating that through the taxes, which are usually, most people escrow it on their primary residence. So again, I recognize the justifications for them. I believe everything. And in some ways in this seat, we have supported you bringing an extra tax to the people and making your case to them. And I believe in that. When you have a justification and you think you can go to the people and ask for a millage, I'm willing to give you that to bring to them if I believe in the justification you're saying. So, but on a roll forward, again, from my perspective, it doesn't look like a tax increase on the people. Councilman Hudson.
Well, I wasn't going to speak on this item until Councilman Dunn Jr. used my own pastor's prayer against me. No, look, I appreciate what everyone has said. I too look at it as a tax increase, and I look at it from the perspective of what all of our constituents view this as, and that is at the end of the day, they're going to have to shell out some more money to get the same services that they're already getting. I have not heard anyone come and tell me that not rolling these millages forward will cause them to directly impact their benefits to their employees, directly impact their pay or their other benefits. And so, look, I just think just like our constituents have to do more with less, we're actually asking these entities to do more with the same, right? So you're in a little bit better position there. So I'm in favor, and I know we already have two motions on the floor, but I'm in favor of simply accepting the 2024 adjusted millage after reassessment. So that's what I'll be hopefully getting to support this evening.
Councilman Hurst, you have still spoken twice.
And I have gotten a commitment to use Jen Rocca's first five.
Well, Jen Rocca will have to ask you a question with her time for that. So, Councilwoman Rocca.
Can you use my time in 30 seconds or less?
So, Dwight Hudson made a great point that we are talking about doing more with less. What that actually means is less due to inflation, not less income. People's salaries aren't changing. It's no different than the budgets in these businesses, but they're expected to do the same thing. One thing I love about public service is being on this side of the aisle, because you realize they only put you in office to build you up, to tear you right back down, to tell you what you're not doing. The same thing with these firemen, same thing with the Council on Aging, same thing with Fred Rayford with drainage, while he's smiling over there, same thing with all of them. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to call us next year and complain about the services that we're not providing for the city. You're going to tell us, have fiscal responsibility, do more with less, but we're already paying DPW $8 an hour in some cases. That's not a livable wage, okay? And I'm going to give you an example about that. Right now, as we reduce some of our budgets, DPW's building and grounds who need some of that overtime that they get now can't get it, so they now have to go get another job because their current job does not provide a livable wage, only because they can't get overtime with the current fiscal state. So we're asking these other folks to operate on tomorrow's fiscal state with today's current budget. So the bottom line is that doesn't work for anybody. It doesn't work for us personally. It doesn't work for them business-wise. So the increases, not just here but in other places, don't call and complain when they can't give you next year what they gave you this year. Thank you so much. You want to come to the mic? I do. You got the rest of her time, absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Hurst. Mr. Chair, is that acceptable?
Wait. Councilwoman Rocca.
Sir, you can have my extra time.
Thank you very much. My name is Murphy Foster. I represent the Council on Aging. I just want to add a couple of things to what Councilman Hurst and some of the others had said and what Tasha has said. 7 years ago, when this millage was passed, it was 2.25. Last year was 2.13. One of the proposals, or the automatic rollback, would have been 2.0. If you keep it at 2.0, that is going to be $750,000 less to the Council on Aging in real dollars. And the reason is because Council on Aging, like some of these other agencies, get money from other sources. Council on Aging this next year will get $750,000 less from the federal government and the state government. I can't tell you why they cut those, but they did. If you keep it at the 2.13, they will have the same that they had last year in real dollars, and the millage would be the same, 2.13. I support holding it at 2.13 and urge you to do so. If there's one thing that we as government, or you as government, should do, is to care for people who cannot care for themselves. That's what the Council on Aging does in a big way, and they have received huge accolades from around the country for doing just that. Thank you.
All right. So, to clarify, we have a substitute motion by Councilman Dunn Jr., seconded by Councilwoman Banks, to approve all roll forward and the rest of the items for item 80. Do we have any opposition to that?
Can I get clarification?
Sure.
The substitute motion you just referenced is to approve item 80 as is written, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
We have objection? Multiple objections. We're going to vote on the machines. For the substitute motion first.
Just as a reminder, this item requires 8 votes to be approved. Either way, any We're voting on the substitute motion to approve item 80 as it appears on your agenda. Machines are open on the motion to approve. You want to do this? Yes. I'm going to reset it when Councilwoman Danzig's computer's ready. Okay. Machines are open on the substitute motion to approve item 80. Motion fails.
Now we're going to vote on the original motion by Councilman Moak, seconded by Councilwoman Rocca, to approve all items, item 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for the roll forward, and adopting item 16 through 26 as written. Do we have any objection? Have objection? Multiple, we're going to vote on the machines.
Machines are open on the original motion to approve items 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 through 26.
We already did.
You did. Reset. Yes. We're going to open the machines again for that vote. I'm not going to read the entire thing again. Machines are open on the original motion from Councilman Moak. Motion fails.
Can I reconsider the substitute motion?
You can re-urge your motion.
I'd like to re-urge my motion.
There's a motion on the floor to approve item 80 by Councilman Dunn. Is there a second?
We have a motion by
Yes, Councilman Hurst.
Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilman Hurst to approve item 80 as written. Do we have any opposition? We have opposition. We're going to vote on the machines.
Machines are open on the motion to approve item 80. Motion fails.